All right, I want to talk about the Pacers. The Pacers play the Bucks today on New Year's Eve. This is a fantastic game. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's a conference game, and it has legitimate tie-breaking opportunity, right? The Bucks are 16 and 14. They're number 6 in the East. The Pacers are 16 and 17. They're 8th in the East. It's an opportunity for Indiana to pick up a win while handing an evenly matched playoff-level rival a loss, right? That makes them that much closer to catching up in the standings, and the Bucks are on a 2-game losing streak, right? The Bucks lost to the Bulls and the Nets. Those are 2 bad losses as well. The Pacers just came off a very tough string of games. They played the Thunder, they played the Celtics twice on the road. The Bucks at home lost to the Nets, and then they went to Chicago and lost that game as well. It's a fantastic opportunity for the Pacers to close the gap in the standings, right? The Bucks are at 6, right? They're the last team just in to the playoffs, right? At least officially in the playoffs. They don't have to go through the play-in tournament if the season were to end today. The Pacers are just a couple games back from that at 8th in the East, right? So it's huge opportunity for Indiana to pick up a huge win. Recently for the Bucks, they lost to the Bulls and the Nets, both of those by 2 possessions, right? 2 baskets. Lost both of those games most recently. Before that, they beat the Bulls on the road and they beat the Wizards, but they lost to the Cavs by, I believe, 23 before that. So the Milwaukee Bucks, right? They looked fantastic. They had just won the NBA Cup. They looked like they had been playing like one of the best teams in the league. Now we're catching them at a slight downswing, which is very critical because earlier in the year, the Pacers lost to the Bucks. The Pacers were on a downswing of themselves. They were in a slump. The Bucks caught them at the right spot in the NBA Cup in group play. Bucks knock off the Pacers. They take a 1-0 season lead, I suppose, in that series. We play the Bucks 4 times. We're close together in the standings. The tiebreakers may matter, and even if the tiebreakers don't matter, the Pacers picking up a win and simultaneously handing the Bucks a loss in a head-to-head matchup is critical for some of those spots in between the standings there at 6, 7, 8. This game could be crucial, and it's a fantastic opportunity for the Pacers to win because Giannis Antetokounmpo has been out with an illness recently, and he's questionable for the game today. So whether he's playing or not, Giannis is either going to be in the game or he's going to be not quite at full strength. Either way, this is a weak, downsloping Bucks team on a 2-game losing streak, and those are 2 losses against losing record teams. It's a great time to catch the Bucks off guard in the middle of the year. We don't play them again until March. We play them twice in the same week. And that's going to be a critical stretch of games as well. But for now, as the Pacers are trying to climb back to above 500, they're trying to climb back into playoff range of the standings in the East. This is a massive game to do exactly that on New Year's Eve. Now, last time these 2 teams played, the Bucks won handily. I believe it was 129 to 111. That might not be correct, but either way, the Bucks handily took care of the Pacers. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 37 points and a triple-double. The Pacers were hurt. They were in the midst of a slump of their own. They'd lost 2 straight games prior to that Milwaukee loss. This time, there might not be Giannis Antetokounmpo to put up 37 points and a triple-double. Again, even if he plays, which at this point might be unlikely, even if he plays, Giannis is not going to be quite at that level as he typically is coming away from an illness. I'm not entirely sure what the situation is there with him, and I'm not sure if anybody is, but Giannis has been out. They've lost games without him. They're struggling without Giannis so far, and even if he returns, he's not going to be at full strength. And again, understandably so, the Bucks have been struggling without him. The Bucks have been struggling recently. It's a great time for the Pacers to continue that trend, especially because the Pacers are coming off a win on the road against the Boston Celtics, right? They're coming off a phenomenal winning streak, wins over the Suns and the Warriors. Yes, they dropped the game to the Thunder and the Celtics each, but still, the Pacers are playing great. They're playing their best basketball all season. The Bucks are playing some of their worst basketball since they started picking up some wins after their slow start to the year. This time, the result could be different. Last time, the Bucks shot 17 of 36 from 3. That's just under 50%, which is uncanny. But Andrew Nembhard is back in the lineup. He's at full strength. The Pacers may not have Obi Toppin, but they don't have Giannis Antetokounmpo most likely to contend with down low. So what do I mean by those 2 things, right? 2 critical injuries, or 1 critical injury and 1 return from injury, right? Andrew Nembhard is back in the lineup. We didn't have him the last time we played the Bucks. The Bucks shot 17 of 36. They were just under 50%. First of all, the 2 primary factors that led to the Bucks beating the Pacers are not entirely replicable. Giannis had 37 and a triple-double. 100% that massively contributed to the Bucks winning that game over the Pacers. But Giannis might not be at full strength or might not play at all. Also, the Bucks shot 17 of 36 from 3, which is incredible. Already, that's not very replicable. Most teams can't shoot that high of a three-point percentage, even against the same teams consistently, right? And Andrew Nembhard, one of our best perimeter defenders, is back in the lineup at full strength. Pacers are missing Obi Toppin, but that honestly is canceled out by the fact that Giannis isn't down there. So the Pacers are going to have better perimeter defense. They're going to have an advantage down low with Miles Turner, and really the front court should win the battle of the front court in between the blocks with Giannis out of the lineup. The Pacers are in prime position to win this game over the Bucks. I expect them to win this game over the Bucks. I'd be disappointed if they didn't. It's a home game on New Year's Eve, a packed-out crowd. I think this game was a part of their holiday season ticket plan, where the Pacers sold a package of 4 games you can get for a discounted price, themed around the holidays, right? I think the Bucks were one of these games that was involved in that. So this should be a packed-out crowd on New Year's Eve where the Pacers have an opportunity to pick up a massive win. The Bucks are 5-7 against teams over 500 this season. The Pacers are not over 500, right? They're just a game underneath that mark. They're 16-17 on the year so far. But the Pacers, in my opinion, have been playing like a team that is over 500, playing like a playoff level team, even, I would say, so far. And that's partially why I would expect a win from the Pacers, because the Bucks aren't great against teams better than them, right? They don't perform well against teams better than them, especially without Giannis Antetokounmpo. They struggle to win games at all without Giannis, as evidenced by the last couple weeks. It's a crucial division and conference victory opportunity for the Pacers that would accelerate them closer to the top 6. Again, pick up a win and hand the Bucks a loss. That closes the gap significantly. It's very, very fortunate that the Pacers are going to catch the Bucks at this moment. They should dominate the paint if Giannis isn't there, right? And recently they've been shooting well. They have Andrew Nembhard back. He's going to shoot a high percentage clip for the Pacers. He's going to defend very well around the perimeter. The only caveat, in my opinion, the only thing about the Bucks that could lead to them winning this game is if Tyrese Halliburton goes silent and gets drastically outpaced by Damian Lillard, right? As long as Tyrese Halliburton plays some semblance of like himself and like a star, if he scores at least 20, I think the Pacers win. But if he drops another single-digit performance, if he drops 4 points again, if Tyrese Halliburton does that, and Damian Lillard goes off, and it's happened in the past where star against star, the opposing team would have a player that scores 10 times more than Tyrese Halliburton does. Halliburton's got to be the star of this team, as he was in the second game against the Celtics, and as he has been in this team's brightest moments throughout the season. As long as Tyrese Halliburton plays like a star, or at least close to that level, the Pacers could play like contenders, and they could add another win to the win column. Time will tell. That's the one thing to watch for the Pacers. Their one weakness could be if Tyrese Halliburton goes completely silent and Damian Lillard drops 20, 30, 40, 50. That's where the Bucks could steal a win away from the Pacers on the road. But other than that, for all of the reasons I just went over, I think the Pacers are in prime position to pick up a massive win over the Bucks, and I cannot wait to watch it all play out.